Rajesh. And Professor Ashraf, you don't have to worry about being the person between them and lunch. It's me. Okay, I'll keep it very brief to 3 points, even though we had a very wide-ranging discussion. So in the interest of time. Firstly, in the context of conversations about how instructors use these tools, much of the conversation, including what I showed, was around producing textual artifacts. There was a very nice conversation we had around AI-generated non-textual content, and why, for example, as you saw in that Wikipedia toothpaste example that I showed, how come it makes these kinds of errors in non-textual contents versus textual ones. Of course, the people who are creating this are incentivized to make sure that it doesn't happen, but as educators, we must be aware, especially when we put out content for our teaching learning materials or assessments, please don't trust AI-generated content, especially for non-textual media. Today, there is definitely a case that there is more errors over there. So that was one interesting point that was surfaced, guided by or triggered by one of our participants, faculty participants. The second sort of broad area we discussed was around prompting in various Indian languages. Expanding from the conversation that the last bullet point I had in my slides. I wanted to share with you, just prior to coming here, I was at a conference in IIT Gandhinagar, where a team of undergraduate students had published a very interesting piece of work, where they compared the performance of prompting generative AI in English versus a mixture of Hindi and English, so Hinglish, right? And this was, what they found was that the effectiveness of the Gen AI in English was 95%, and with Hinglish it was substantially lower at 80%. And further, they only looked at what they understood as Hinglish. Right? In every language, I'm sure Malayalam, I don't speak Malayalam, but I'm sure there is a significant difference between conversational Malayalam, the Malayalam that you might use over WhatsApp, and formal Malayalam. Right? So if you want to enable these Gen AI tools to understand our rich, diverse language, a very important question you will have to ask yourself is, which version of Malayalam, which dialect of Malayalam? Ideally, we want to support all dialects, right? But there are so many interesting dimensions. So this brings us to the third point, which actually is hopefully some homework for IHRD and Government of Kerala more generally, but also all state governments of the country, and hopefully for some entrepreneurs in the audience, of which I'm sure we have. So there's a line in NEP I was citing during our conversation. I will read this to you from National Education Policy. It says, efforts to teach language to school students will be dovetailed with efforts to enhance natural language processing for India's diverse languages. See, the big challenge we have for really using these tools with the rich language that we use is we don't have enough data to, in the way we have, say, for English, right? So the point the policy was making, I'm very happy that it made this point pre-Gen AI, is that we have this data. It's sitting in schools where we teach children. We have to find a way to bring that, respecting all the legal, ethical issues that will surely emerge from doing that. But we have to find a way to tap that in. This is an opportunity, as I said, for governments to take a key role, at least in terms of advocacy. And I'm sure there's an opportunity here for entrepreneurs to leverage that. We talked about many things. In the interest of time, I've narrowed it down to 3. I don't have a clever alliterative acronym like Nikita did to summarize that. But thank you for your time.